After I searched around Provo looking for a likely spot where we could do it, I went around and met with the managers and the owners of various businesses and buildings, and most people said, yeah, that's nice, I don't really want to talk to you anymore. But when I finally was able to talk with Dean Judd, the owner of Gurus and the Enlightened Bakery, I explained to him that I was trying to start this community. I was trying to perpetuate this art form. I believe and feel strongly that blues is a living, breathing, developing community and art form. And when I explained it to him, he said, you know, I'm doing something fairly similar with yoga. I see exactly what you're talking about. All right, let's figure something out. And he was and has been the most accommodating person I could possibly hope to have met. With blues dancing, there are traditionalists and there are what I'll call the progressive crowd. Because blues dancing is such an old dance, because it started in the 1920s, 20s, 30s, 40s, there is a very tangible aesthetic that goes along with blues dancing. And there are two ways of achieving that aesthetic. And there are these two camps that believe very strongly about how that aesthetic should be achieved. There's the people who dance trad blues or traditional blues. And those people believe that there are very specific steps that are blues, and not doing those steps makes it so that it is not blues. They believe that there is very specific music, which is the genre of blues, and that if you vary from that, it is no longer blues. Those people tend to label anyone who does not do this more rigid concept of blues. They call it, those who do not do that traditional form of blues, fusion or teal, because it's blue, but it's mixed with a little something else.
And because everybody has their preferences to style and to speed or intensity of songs, it's a tall order to try and help everybody feel like they had a good night of dancing. I think the greatest compliment was just like, I really needed that particular song, the way that the set went, or I just had some great dances tonight. Those are, as a DJ, those are the most important things to me, because I want to make sure people are finding that investment and that enjoyment in the dance and in blues in general. Because I know how much it's meant to me, and I hope that I can share that love and that passion that I have with other people, and that they can feel that when I'm DJing.
With something like ballroom, party A knows the dance, party B knows their part of the dance, and they go forward dancing more or less next to each other. But with blues dancing, the dance cannot happen unless both partners are listening to the music and feeling where each other are and how each other are moving and responding to that. So connection is a huge part of the dance.
If I'm going to do like a waltz, you want to be connected, or if I'm going to do some Latin, it's important to be connected. But for blues, it's so much more than that. It's you're sharing a little piece of yourself with the other person, and you're exploring things about yourself. And so for me, it's almost a sense of self-care. So I go to blues to decompress, to feel, and to express things that I can't express in words. And that's something that I can't do in any other forms of dancing. Not fully.
I know that if I ever needed anything, they would be there for me in a heartbeat. Anybody would, even if I didn't know them very well. And that's actually happened a few times where, I've been having a rough night, and somebody that I maybe danced with once or never danced with at all, they'd come up to me and be like, hey, you okay? I noticed, you don't look so good, or you look like you need a hug or a friend or somebody to talk to. And it's just, it's a group of people who care more about connecting than they do with showing off.
I've had a couple people come to me and actually make a point of letting me know that the only reason that they were still alive that week, very specifically that week, was because they knew that blues was coming up and that there were people that would miss them.
A guy that came to blues, and we danced a couple times. He was a really fabulous dancer, and I was kind of a newbie, and I didn't really know what I was doing, so we didn't dance a lot. But he noticed the change in me when certain people would come in or certain things would happen, and he asked me about it. And even though I'm not really somebody that talks about my personal life a lot, it was too much to handle for me at that time. And so I told him, and he became a safe haven for me. He actually protected me a few times. He got in between me and a situation that I wouldn't have been able to get out of. And that is it's the core of the community. Is people are there for you. They are there to protect you. They are there to keep you safe and to make sure that you have a good time and that your life is going the best that it can, because they care.